comments are for Janice, so I'm looking at your question here. You say the main problem I've been through my previous TOEFL exams is that I was too nervous during the test. I couldn't speak fluently as I normally do. Is that because I didn't practice enough to make myself more confident in speaking English, or I am not familiar enough with independent speaking questions so I couldn't make a response as soon as possible? Good question. Part of the TOEFL, some students are not comfortable recording their voice. First of all, that might be an issue. You have to get used to recording your voice over a few weeks, a few months, so that doesn't make you nervous. Some people, when you tell them to record something and speak into a computer, they just don't know what to do. So part of it is, I think it's just getting used to recording yourself in front of a computer using a microphone. That's part of it. The other is confidence. You seem to be very confident when you're speaking English, right? So I think that when I hear you speak English, sometimes you're not putting those grammatical word endings on the ends of your words. You might be forgetting a determiner or a preposition of some sort. So it could be due to some of those minor language use or delivery issues that, and just natural stuff that you're having problems with that could be bringing it down. So I can't exactly answer your question. Whether or not you're familiar with the speaking topics, I don't think it's important to try to guess what you think is going to be on the test. The key is whatever topic they give you, because you've had a lot of practice speaking, you should be able to decode and understand what you're being asked to do. You jot down in the 15 seconds maybe one or two key points that you like to talk about, and you should be able to do it, right? So I think as you practice, you'll develop better control, I think, over both your language use, your delivery, and even your topic development. So I can't really answer your question because I would have had to see your performance on that test to really understand why you had the problems that you had, and still your speaking is really good, right? You're talking about getting either 24 or 26 points on the speaking, right? And you've already reached your goal on the test before, but you haven't gotten all your marks consistently in all the sections. So let's take a look at your integrated speaking practice test right now. So it looks like it's number 16, I think. Let's hear how you answered this question. Let me listen to the whole thing once without saying anything.
The lecture is describes about how a glacier is formed.
No, wait a minute. Let's go back.
The lecture is describes about...
You can't do that. The lecture is describes. You definitely don't want to do that in the TOEFL test. If you're using is, you say is describing, but that's not really the appropriate thing there. You want to use the simple present, so the lecture describes. That's going to be better there. Okay, let's keep going.
The lecture is describes about how a glacier is formed. Glacier formation, as the speaker says, is a long-time process that snow accumulates and transforms into ice over time. First, glaciers usually grow at high mountains, which the temperature is...
Okay, this is good, but glaciers usually grow, not grew, so you don't want to use past tense there. The simple present is going to be better as you explain the information.
30 degrees lower than the bottom. Each year, the new layer of snow falls and compresses onto the previous snow. After years, the accumulation of snow makes it...
I would say it compresses into the previous snow layer. It's probably better.
Grow larger, and the weight of the snow changes its density. The snow changes into form, and the density increases to half of the water. Throughout approximately more than 100 years, the formation has completed and the snow became glacier. As the speaker says,
the snow becomes a glacier as it moves down the hill due to the forces of gravity.
Begins moving down the hill due to the weight and the gravity.
That's good. But this is not going to get you that 26. I'm going to be honest with you here. So you weren't comfortable talking about that academic information. Ask yourself, does this correlate with your most recent TOEFL score? Right? Are you having any trouble speaking about academic information? Because this one was a little bit difficult. There was something you left out in the lecture. It talked about how snow changes into firn. It's that intermediate state between snow and glacial ice. So you left that out. You had some trouble explaining those ideas. So you had some language use issues in there, maybe some possible delivery issues, maybe with your intonation. You can vary your tone a little bit more too. This one, I'm going to put you at about 2.83 out of 4, 22 points out of 30 on this particular practice test. All right, so what can you learn here? I think you can learn that with speaking task number 6, when the lecture is a little bit dense, conceptually dense, with a lot of concepts, you have some trouble explaining that information, and also you weren't exactly sure in your verb tenses, and you were sometimes changing from present to past tense verbs when the simple present, I think, worked better. So be careful with some of those issues. All right?